So now we're all a little loosened up, right? Okay. Thank you all for coming and spending some of your time, hopefully learning something. The question is, does chicken soup really cure the common cold? Are there actions that we can take at home to maybe alleviate or prevent seasonal illness? I think we've all wondered whether these kind of remedies are wives' tales or whether they have actual effects. 42% of Americans, according to a Kaiser Family Foundation April 2009 poll, actually try home remedies or over-the-counter remedies before they go to the doctor. So that's a pretty high number. I went on a quest to reinforce some of these ideas and see if I could find any backup to these wives' tales that we all know. I've tried many of them myself, but now I actually have found some medical research and writings that back up these ideas that we've all had. We read about them in magazines, but now I think it's not just folklore. Modern medicine has actually taken a stronger look at some of these alternative remedies, so they're actually doing research on it now. In order to explore this, I'm going to talk to you about some ways we can boost our immune system, and also some remedies that we can use when we do get a cold or flu. There's everyday choices we can make to help our immune system. A well-balanced diet is always the best way to go. It's always better for your health, but there's things that we can add to our diet that increase our immunity. First of all, the white button mushrooms. The Journal of Nutrition studied the white button mushrooms, and there's two ways that they can increase our immunity. First of all, there's natural killer cells that are increased. The natural killer cells produce antibodies and proteins against infection. Also, they're really good for T cells. T cells have an amazing ability to see the pathogens in your body, and they're able to fight them. Onions, garlic, leeks, barley, wheat, bananas are all have a thing called prebiotics. And prebiotics help B cells, another important immunity white blood cell. Then there's nuts, seeds, green leafy vegetables, vegetable oil, and they're all great to provide vitamin E. And vitamin E is a natural antioxidant. Also, it stops the production of T cell suppressors in your body. So all of these things are really good things to eat to boost your immune system. There's also some other things that we can do in our life that will help us with our immune system. First of all, we should get some sun. Natural sun is the best way to get vitamin E and vitamin D. I'm sorry. It's hard to get sun in the winter months. You can get fortified foods and dairy, vitamin D, but really the best way to get vitamin D is through natural UV rays. Sleep. Archives of Internal Medicine has found that if you get 8 hours of sleep, you're markedly less likely to get the common cold than if you don't. If you're not getting enough sleep, your immune system is kind of working against you and it's not able to do its job. Now this one might seem obvious, but you should make sure to wash your hands or use an alcohol-based hand sanitizer. People just forget this fundamental. Also, you should avoid touching your eyes, nose, or mouth because that's where the viruses and bacteria come into your body. So I know that I'm always kind of a freak when it goes to touching things, and I always need that stuff. Whether it helps or not, I don't know. But all of these things you can try. Can't hurt. Try to boost your immunity up a little bit. The studies are showing that this stuff helps. Give it a try. If you do get sick and you do get one of these colds or flus, there are things that you can do at home to try to help you with the symptoms of that. First of all, the best home remedy is to stay home. It helps everyone else. You're not spreading your germs. Also, staying home and getting the rest, staying warm is a great tool to help rebuild your immunity if you get sick. Nurse Practitioner magazine talked a lot about hydrating yourself and drinking plenty of fluids for a couple of reasons, and maybe this is where the chicken soup comes in. First of all, hydrating yourself if you have any kind of fever, you don't get dehydrated. Also, it loosens all of your secretions, so you have less risk of infection if you are moving all of those secretions. Hot fluids have warm vapors, they warm the respiratory system and loosen everything up, so all that stuff is really good. Now, there are other things you can do to help your symptoms of cold and flu. The nasal saline irrigators are a great tool to wash your sinuses of the congestion or irritants or allergens. The American Family Physician Journal wrote about this. They also wrote about peppermint. Peppermint does great things for your body. It helps a lot of the symptoms that you might have from cold and flu. Stomach upset, it helps muscle aches, inflammation, it helps headaches and intestinal issues. Peppermint oil can be put in a hot steaming pot and you can inhale the steam and kind of get the same benefit from the hot fluids. You can also drink peppermint tea either from fresh peppermint or commercially prepared peppermint tea. Ginger has the same effects with your stomach upset or nausea. Ginger is very good for these things. Also, the Medical Post tells you that it's a great antioxidant, and it can actually help inflammation and pain. It can be actually a natural pain reliever. So if you try using some peppermint in a tea, or you could mix some in seltzer with a sweetener, give it a try. Finally, probiotics. Probiotics clearly show to lessen cold symptoms, whether through yogurt or through the pills. They lessen cold symptoms. The American Dietetic Association has done a lot of research on the benefits of probiotics. If you end up at the doctor and end up getting an antibiotic prescription, probiotics are very important because they lessen the side effects of antibiotics. They stop you from getting yeast infections or intestinal issues. If you don't like yogurt, you could take the pills. However, I feel that yogurt, you also get the added calcium. But either way, probiotics are a big help for your for the symptoms of cold and flu. If you have any symptom that is prolonged or chronic, you should obviously talk to your doctor. But rather than going to the medicine cabinet for cold remedies or aspirins or Advils, give these things a try. They might work. But I'd like to embrace the beginning of my presentation and talk more about how you can prevent getting sick in the first place and how you can use these ingredients in creating something that's in an immunity boosting recipe. So we have made for you tonight some mushroom barley soup with kale. I hope you all learned a little bit of something, and thank you again for coming.
You're welcome.